Thursday, 25th of April 2024. So why I ignore the Bitcoin price? I don't bother with it. The price is just a day-to-day, it's Mr. Market, as the book says here, intelligent investor. It's just today's price of it, today's speculation of it. I don't really look at the price. It's nice to look at the price. I also don't bother with price predictions, or when people think it's going to go, things like that. Again, it's nice, it's fun to speculate, by all means, it's fun. But I don't bother with that. It's a distraction. What's important with Bitcoin is the hash rate. That, every single day, week, month, year, basically hits all-time highs all the time. There's this very nice little flywheel diagram talking about Bitcoin, how it gets stronger over time. It's a vicious positive feedback loop. The higher the price, the more user adoption there is. Therefore, the more tools and websites there are, more layers, like Lightning, whatever else. And that leads to also higher hash rate. More people are using it, more people are mining it because of the higher price. And therefore, that leads also to the higher price as well. It's a vicious feedback loop. So the price is nice to look at. It's nice looking at the price. By all means, it's fun, whatever else. That's the point of having the Bitcoin, so you can spend it. Makes sense, by all means. Or use its collateral. Makes sense. But the hash rate's what's important. That's growing all the time. As long as that's growing, the network, and this is the key thing, is getting more and more stronger. When we look at Bitcoin from first principles, the math does its thing. It gets stronger and stronger, means it becomes exponentially more expensive and difficult to hack the network, to do a 51% attack or to do a double spend, things like that. The stronger it gets, the more secure it is overall. But on the flip side, a quick side note is, when you've got more than 6 confirmations, it's exponential. It's exponentially difficult and impossible to hack the network then. So beyond 6 confirmations, it's basically impossible. But nonetheless, it means the stronger the network, the better things are overall. Perfect. So the price doesn't matter. On the long term, always remember this, when in doubt, zoom out. The price on a day-to-day basis is nice to look at, but not important, because on the long term we know it's going to go only one direction. Fair enough. Now, I also don't bother with a lot of the speculations, the guesses, people thinking, in 1 year, in 2 years, it's going to be X or Y or Z, by 20, whenever, it's going to be 1 million, or it's going to be 500,000, by the end of this and that and that and this. I don't bother with that, because it's I've become a bit insensitive to that. Yeah, not bother, not paying attention. The inflection point for me was about in 2022, I think it was, just before one of the major conferences. I want to say in Miami, I really don't know where. There was this comment that was made on social media by, interestingly, Max Kaiser, and he said that BTC will hit a new all-time high as the conference begins. I'm like, what? Wow, really? It's insane. Wow, really? Needless to say, that day came and went and nothing happened. The price was going sideways. So I don't bother with these guesses now. It's nice to hear them. Is it Catherine Woods? Catherine Woods at ARK thinks it's going to be 650 by whenever, and Hal Finney thought it would be 10 million, and such person thought it would be such and such, and who knows when, and who knows what price. By all means, it's fun, it's nice, it's a good mental framework, it's good thought experiment. If situation happens over here, in terms of the world, that means it's going to deteriorate, so the price goes up. That's another thing to consider as well. In one way, we don't want the price going up, but I'll come back to that shortly. So I don't bother with these speculations. Just become insensitive to them, because no one knows. There's that scene in Wolf of Wall Street, and at the start of it, where it says the price, no one knows what the price of anything is going to go, up, down, left, right, sideways, whatever. It's a fugazi. Who knows? Who cares? It'll do whatever it does. Now, is it a buying opportunity? Well, you tell me when you want to buy. Some people say DCA. If you want to be a bit more advanced, you do what's called value DCA, but that's a lot more patience is required. But you might as well just do DCA. You might as well, don't know. You decide. You're an adult. Now, so I don't bother with speculations at all. It's pointless. It'll just do what it does over time. It'll go wherever it wants. Hash rate's important. So when I heard Max Kaiser's comment about it's going to be hit an all-time high in this year, I don't bother. So since then, it's nice to hear these things, but I don't bother. Now also, another interesting prediction I heard back in 2021 by Nayib Bukele. He said that by the end of 21, I believe, 2 other countries will have made it legal tender. And I was thinking, wow, really? Okay, cool. Then I saw something in Tonga. They might do something by November 2021. And I saw something in, where is it? St. Kitts in the Caribbean. It's like, oh, wow, some news and rumbling here and there. It's like, wow, what's going to happen? Nothing happened. So I don't bother. These guesses, speculations, I don't bother. I just basically ignore them. I just focus on the hash rate. Now, DCAing, there's an interesting technique I mentioned, value DCA. So, one technique, on a regular basis, DCA. But if we use a little more fancy charts, like Keltner channels, we can see visually, like with the Bollinger Bands, where the price is in relation to its volatility or volume over the past 6 or so months, whatever else. And then you can see, basically, the lower the price is, the stronger the buy, based within this channel, of course. And then you DCA based on that. Because the idea would be you want to buy when it's at a local bottom as opposed to a local top. Fair enough. It's just how specific do you want to be? How do you want to maximize getting the sats? Fair enough. Okay. But, I don't think that strategy would be as effective as just DCAing at a regular interval and holding on for a certain number of time. Now, because remember, the key principle here is, I think a lot of people outside of Bitcoin tend to forget is, when in doubt, zoom out. They would look at the price volatility over the past hour, day, week, whatever, month, and think, look, it's gone down. There was that tweet I saw a few weeks ago by Peter Schiff saying gold and silver in Q2 of 2024 has gone up, but Bitcoin's gone down. And I was like, what is that? Who cares? It's too short-term thinking. If we're thinking the long term, using it as a savings mechanism, you don't really care. You buy on this day. Any days, really. I saw a great tweet, Dylan Leclerc, months ago, saying there's never a bad time to buy. Now, you tell me how accurate that is. You comment below, you know what to do. But that's a good principle, because it seems to be, again, when in doubt, zoom out. The longer the time horizon as a savings technology, that's how you view it. The longer your time horizon, the better. The more in profit you'd be, the more in the green, the more powerful it will be, which is good. Now that's fine, that's price. When to enter, ignoring the price. No one knows where it's going to go. It's going to go one way because maths, basically. Maths, there's fixed supply, and it's becoming more and more scarce, and it's a monotonic function, which I want to look into that. That's an interesting topic. So, nonetheless, now, I don't bother with that, and I just look at the hash rate. The hash rate is the health of the network. The healthier it is, the stronger it is. The more exponentially impossible it is to hack, to double spend, to do what the maths and the code is supposed to do. And this is powerful. Again, first principles. That's the whole thing. That's the whole point. The stronger it is, the more secure. Then, it's just down to you to securing it and doing self-hosted cold storage. Perfect. Self-custody, that's it. Perfect. That's the whole point. That's the revolution as well. You focus on that, you can't really go wrong. And if you have long-term thinking, talking 2, 3, 4 years plus, it seems you really, really can't go wrong. What's amazing is if you look at the chart on any 3 or 4 year period, again, when in doubt, zoom out, you can't really go wrong. And this is just the maths. This is just looking at the code. Powerful stuff. So yes, don't bother with the price. Just stick to what's happening and focus on the hash rate and keep building. Keep supporting the network, researching and learning. The more you learn about it, the better things are. Yeah, but otherwise, just in the Rock of Cashel right now, there's a nice big castle in Ireland. And look at that view. Look at that view back there. Very nice. How cool is that? But otherwise, you will see me tomorrow.